Hey, Artie back. We just finished up the Fire Rift Beast, and we're going to move on to the Ice Beast now. Name of the game for Ice Beast is Speed. Generally, you want all your monsters to be, I don't know, probably 180 or better speed. I do not practice what I preach. I actually have lower than that on several of these. But I wish they were a lot faster, I promise. My Bernard is nothing special. 141, not all that hard to achieve. I think he does not have many runes I'm proud of, that is for sure. That's pretty awful, actually. But one of the easiest ways to go about Ice Rift is to go ahead and put up a Chasun and Bernard frontline. Chasun, in my case, is not a monster that I use very often. She does not have very good runes. But she's really ideal for this Rift because she can frontline easily, she does not need many stats, and she can solo heal it without any issues. She also provides an attack buff, which is absolutely a requirement for this stage. Now I am using Wind Homunculus, who has this fantastic brand on a 2-turn cooldown. You can absolutely use Wind Barbarian King. The brand is super helpful for getting maximum groggy damage. It is the difference between you getting, an S or triple S. So, big fan of him, using the massive Magic Bullet Madness for just increased DPS. I'm using Theo as my leader. My Theo is not runed like I would prefer him. Good crit damage, but that's about it. So, would love to re-rune him. My Lagmaron also... I absolutely love Lagmaron. He is one of my favorite monsters in the game. My Lagmaron is runed like crap. Makes me very sad. I've been farming Swift runes for him for a long time now. Haven't gotten what I needed. But he is great for this Rift. So, let's go ahead and get started and we'll go over the strategy. So Water Rift or Ice Rift here is unique among the Rifts in that the outgoing damage from the boss is really minimal. You just don't take that much damage because half of his moves here are that Freezing Roar, and while they do reduce your max health, they don't hurt you. And more importantly, that's the move he does right after he comes out of Groggy, which at the end of the fight, if you don't have really high damage mons, and he survives to his final wave, then it's a big deal that he doesn't hit you right off rip. So here we've got Defense Break and Brand on there pretty early. That's fantastic. Don't have attack buff up right now, so that's going to hurt our damage a little bit, but should still be able to pull up all right damage overall in this Rift. So like I said, the boss itself does not do all that much damage. You do need a Bernard that has some speed on him. I mean, if you're below 200 speed on your Bernard, it's probably going to be difficult to finish this Rift consistently. And with the recent changes to Rifts, with Wind being far more powerful in water than it used to be, it gets a 50% damage buff. With that being the case, you really do want as many Wind nukers as you can. Your backline, so you've got your Chasun and Bernard frontline. Your backline is basically just going to consist of the highest damage Wind that you've got. And just kind of go from there. So, there we go. In any case, the boss itself, one mechanic you do have to keep in mind, when he does that freezing scream, whatever that is, he's going to put the debuff on your health, and the more turns you take, the more your attack bar increases during that freeze. If you can get that to go away, then when he does his slam afterwards, which is this little move right up here, then he's going to freeze you. If you can get rid of the freeze, and having higher speed on your monsters overall will do that, then he's going to do significantly reduced freezing effect to you. So in that case, I got pretty lucky. I didn't have anybody frozen. Most often I do. And that's just because my monsters are too slow. The plus side is, with the damage on the boss being so low, he often can't kill you with the final move he's got here. It just doesn't do damage like the other ones do. So, I'll take it. I'm comfortable with that. And that was just an absolutely terrible run. I do not get just regular S very often on this. Normally it's double or triple, but it happens. It's gonna fluctuate on you. So I showed you most of the runes there. My Theo I've shown before. He's not very well runed. I've got my Lagmaron, also not great on the stats there. Rigel would not be a bad, or Fuko rather, would not be a bad choice either. My Fuko, I just got him to level 40. He's got leftover runes on him. The Wind Barbarian King is a very ideal one for this if you've got him skilled up. I don't quite have his Wrathful Attack skilled up, but he would be very good here if you don't have Wind Homunculus. A lot of people use water. Some more are using fire lately. Other options for Bernard, you could use things like the Water Bounty Hunter, but especially with the changes, you're probably going to be better off using Bernard than the Water Bounty Hunter. Past that, it's never a bad idea to bring your Xiaolin. She does very well. I could see people doing all right, maybe even very well, using Bastet instead of Chasun, especially if you've got her really fast, maybe on Violent. But the thing with that is it would give you an additional attack bar boost, which is great there, and it would give you maybe about the same attack boost uptime. In fact, we're just going to try it because why not, right? Maybe take less turns than Chasun too. Let's just go for it. I plan on re-runing my Bastet next free rune removal because, I had her triple revenge for raids, and that's great, but I kind of want her on Swift, just get more turns out of it. Maybe do me some favors there. But let's see what we got. So she also brings defense break when that's available, so that's certainly a nice thing. We'll just see if we can do this at all without... of course, nobody's going to land a defense break on me. That's great. But we'll see if we can get a decent score out of this without heals. I don't know how the mechanics work when you're not using an actual heal. But we're going to find out. Actually, it looks to be doing just great. So it looks like the mechanic on the freeze is actually strictly based on percentage of HP you've got. If you're not losing HP due to shields, then you're not actually going to have lower HP when you get your cooldown or your attack bar back. So that's actually pretty cool. Let's see how this works out. It's going to be a double S, which is a little low, but we had a really bad first Groggy there. If this completes consistently, I actually really like this setup. Woo! Alright, Bastet could use to be a little bit tankier. But she did get the attack bar focused or cycled around a lot faster than most of my guys, so, or a lot faster than Chasun would, that's for sure. So I kind of like this option. Not going to be for everybody. And Bastet's going to die right here, which is fine. Still going to complete it just fine. Wind Homunculus, of course, brings that massive Magic Bullet madness, which is great. Lagmaron has some natural tankiness here, as does the Homunculus, and when the Homunculus dies, he tends to just murder the boss as a little way of saying thank you. And there it goes. So, interesting. I might play around with that. But that should give you a pretty good idea of what you can do. Alright, thanks for watching. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next riff now.